Hi there, Aries. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Yetta Pearl. Um, I am just so grateful for all of you when you like, when you share, when you comment, and certainly when you subscribe. So please keep doing that. That's awesome. And so this is your angel reading for July 5th through 11th of 2021. So the first deck that wanted to come forward to assist you today, Aries, is one of the fairy decks. I love this deck. And so this is a general reading, so please just take what resonates for you and leave the rest behind. It's just for somebody else who's listening, no worries. Okay, so as always, this is a reading from your guardian angels. They've been trying to catch your attention on something for a while, and maybe you're kind of getting it, but maybe you're, I don't know, that you're caught up in something else and you're not able to pay attention right now, or for some other reason you're just not noticing what they're trying to tell you. And so they take this opportunity to grab my attention, to give me the messages. And, then there's something that draws you to the reading, right? And lets you listen to it so that you can be getting your messages. And so your angels are always, they're always spot on. They like doing this. They have nothing else to do, right? There's all the different levels of angels. So who I work with predominantly are your guardian angels. So they're the ones who've been with you since birth or before. And, oh, hang on, gotta pick that up off the floor. Okay, so they're the ones who've been with you since birth or before, and they never leave you. Their whole job is to look after you in this lifetime that you're living. And so they've never been in human form, which means they don't have any ego, they don't have any judgment. So, if you're not getting their messages, they're not frustrated with you or anything like that, because they don't know how to be that. They don't have that in them. We humans have a hard time understanding that, but that honestly, that's the truth. That's how it works. They cannot judge you because they don't know how. They don't have any ego. So you are always fully accepted by your guardians. But their goal is to guide you, to make it so that your life is as easy as possible. So you learn what you wanted to learn with the least disruption, right? Sometimes we're aware after the fact, usually, that we made it harder than it needed to be, right? So anytime that life is hard, it's because, we're not able to hear, or for numerous reasons, we're not able to follow the guidance, right? It's all good. We learn what we need to learn in the way we're supposed to learn it, and it all works out in the end. Okay, let's have a look at this reading and see what's going on. It looks pretty good, actually. Looks pretty good. So there's a situation in your life that you're kind of wondering how it's going, how it's supposed to go. Your angels want you to know that, yes, your intuition is spot on, and please continue paying attention to that. So intuition is another way of saying that you are receiving messages from your guides, from your guardians. Some of the other angels who will be giving you messages as well are the archangels, like Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and all the rest of them. And so they work together. They work in conjunction with each other. And so when you are in a situation, you're contemplating, it feels like choices. There's a fork in the road. You can do this or you can do that. These can be very tiny little things. They could be just things that you would not think are consequential. Today, are you going to have toast for breakfast or cereal for breakfast, right? Anything that's choices like that. Get in the habit of listening to your intuition. So it's your gut feelings, or, ask even out loud if you want to. Say, guides, guardian angels, which is better? And then listen for the answer, right? And see in that way you kind of get used to asking and receiving. And that way, when it's for small things that really probably don't make a difference in your life, then you get used to how to do that. And that way, when the bigger things come up, which they do, then you'll know how to handle it, and you'll be comfortable hearing or seeing or feeling or knowing the answer, right? Yeah. So yeah, your intuition is spot on with this. It's time to do a bit of a detox. So for some of you, this is your physical body. So drinking more water, put a bit of salt in it so that your body can take it up better. Good food. So they're showing me some of you have been eating, lots of processed stuff. You've been in a hurry. Or so I'm not sure how many places in the world are experiencing this right now, but where I live, it's very hot, and so nobody wants to cook, certainly not indoors, right? So, if you've been doing that, you've been doing a lot of takeout food, a lot of food that's less than pure, it's time to switch that up. The more of the fresh, pure, organic stuff, I know it's kind of a catchword these days, but truly, we don't want to be taking in those toxins, which are in the chemicals, right? So the more of the good food that you can be having, the better. That will help you physically, which also helps you mentally. So the better food you feed your body, the more your brain is able to work properly. So for some of you, this is thoughts and keeping them, on the lighter side, keeping your vibration higher. Let me see, what else do they given me about that? Just in general, instead of like, oh man, I have to go to that workplace again, it's going to be the same old shit show again. Try and change that up and say, you know what? Today's a new day, and yes, I'm going there because it is my workplace. And because it's my workplace, I contribute to the general thoughts, feelings, vibe in the place. So today I'm going to go in there with a higher vibe, and I'm going to stay at that high vibe no matter what everybody else does today. And whether you know it or not, you're going to be influencing the people around you. And then theirs is likely to come up as well. Some of them are resistant, so just relax about that. It's their journey. Nothing for you to be thinking about or concerned about. Okay. So in all the other ways, so I'm seeing water, not only for drinking, but bodies of water. So moving water definitely has those wonderful negative ions that really cleanse the air around us and through us. So if you can get in the water somewhere, that's great. Yeah, maybe that's pretty much what they're showing me. I'm seeing floaty fabric, like sheer curtains, just moving lightly in the breeze. So the more that you can purify your food, your life, your thoughts, your feelings, the less of the veil there is between you and the world. It also, there's a dual meaning there. So it not only is it a veil between you and the world, but sometimes you like that veil because it shields you from what's going on, because those things that are going on are not necessarily in your best interests. We don't always need to know that stuff because it only drags us down, right? So that kind of purification as well, to stop, maybe just stop watching the news for a couple of days and see how that affects how you feel. Yeah, just give it a try. Okay, so children are in your life, and no matter whether you realize it or not, you have quite an impact on their life. So, obviously some of you have children, some of you work with children. Some of you have grandchildren. Some of you, some of you actually may find that you spend very little time with children or around children. But when you are in public, even if there are just, random strangers' children around you, you have the ability to impact them. So let's say that you're a person who really enjoys going to the park and sitting there to meditate. Children are watching you, other people too, but children are watching you. They don't have the preformed beliefs, that adults do. And so for a child to watch an adult doing that kind of a thing in public, not behind closed doors, you're not embarrassed to do it, all that stuff that sometimes people feel, and you're just showing that. And when you're finished, you get up from there and you can just be visibly serene. That has a huge impact on kids. And so then it gives them permission to know that that's okay, right? And so obviously for some of you, you do work much more closely with kids. And so, okay, so the guides are saying that your demeanor kind of, and your energy, it sets the tone for the room, right? And again, this is true just about any time, but especially with kids. So if you're upset and you're struggling with something, then they will also be, getting more and more agitated. So being aware of your own energy before you go in that room is a really good thing. And put yourself simply into what is happening there in the moment. And that way, whatever's been bugging you, whatever's got your energy all worked up, that you will not bring that to the equation, because they don't need that, right? And then you work through that later so that you don't have that left, right? Part of this also is your own inner child. And so that's really what they've been getting at, when they're showing me this picture of you walking into a room full of children, whether it's a classroom or a daycare or whatever it is, a kid's birthday party, that there are things there with the kids that are triggering you, and they're things that you have as belief systems or experiences or events from your own childhood, which are coming to the surface now for whatever reason, because you're ready, right? Because you're ready. And so they're coming to the surface, and that's for you to deal with, for you to say, okay, thank you, but I'm done with you. I have new ways now, and I prefer my new ways. So thank you, right? Yeah, that's really key. The more you can, so a lot of this so far is about getting to know yourself, right? And what you're doing to impact your own energy field and your own vibration, and how you're dealing with the things that are triggering you and all that kind of stuff. So one of the ways that really helps is to be in nature. So I am seeing that for some of you, it's actually indoors, but it's nature. So it's like a conservatory or something like that. That's what I'm seeing. This is a real look after your mental health week. Let yourself really feel what you're feeling and be aware of it. And instead of just packaging it up and stuffing it down, take it out and have a look at it. Like, I'm actually feeling like this. Like, what is it? And you don't have to use words. Sometimes it's so hard to translate the feeling into the word. There's just no need to do that. Just feel the feeling. And is it a good one? Do you like it? Like, where does it come from? What's happening with this feeling? Is it something that you want to keep? If you do, great. Embrace that and bring that up many, many times. Like that feeling of joy and treasure. It feels like treasure. That's funny. And so, because that's funny, because we don't normally think of treasure as a feeling, right? So, but it totally is. Like, whatever that feeling is. So this is why I'm saying you don't have to put a word to it. You don't have to say, oh, I'm feeling so frustrated or whatever. You don't have to know what it is. You just have to feel how it feels, right? So, so when you're sitting there and you're out in nature, whether you're outside or you're in the conservatory, notice those feelings. And okay, so now they're saying we see that some people are at the indoor nature center or whatever, but as much as possible, go outside to natural nature, right? Where you can't be heard, because sometimes some of these feelings might well up, and if somebody could hear you, that would stop you from allowing them, right? So the more you can be completely alone doing that, the better. So noticing what those feelings are, how they feel, if you want to keep them or if you just are finished with them. And if you're finished with them, let it well up. If it makes you cry, then cry. If it makes you scream, then scream. If it makes you angry, if you want to stomp your feet, if you want to pound your fists into the earth, then do that. The only rule is you cannot hurt yourself or anybody else, right? So, yeah. And when you're finished doing that, you're going to feel so much lighter, and you're going to enjoy it. So your angels are recommending that you do that regularly and often. Beautiful. Okay. Trust. You can trust your own intuition. You can trust your angels to never lead you astray. You can trust key people around you to assist you instead of sabotaging you. You can trust the path that you are on, because you wouldn't be on it if it wasn't your path, right? People always say, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? If you like, so one of my mentors, John Barnes, is a physiotherapist, the father of myofascial release. He says, when you're wondering if you're on the right path, look down at your feet. Where are they? Yeah, there it is. That's the right path. No matter where you are on the right path, because you couldn't have got to it if it wasn't the right one. Trust that you are where you're supposed to be, that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, that new opportunities will come to you as they are able to, as they're guided to, and as you allow, right? Like when you're kind of down in the pits of despair, if an opportunity came to you, you can't see it or take it anyway, right? So it's not going to come to you then until you start lifting yourself out and then can actually take advantage of the opportunity. You see how that works? Trusting that everything is going how it's supposed to. It may feel pretty ugly sometimes, but that will end. Nothing is permanent. Yes. Okay. And so for now, take a little holiday in your thoughts, in your feelings, in what you think is going on in the world, in what you're hearing, what you're seeing. If possible, take a holiday from your work life. This doesn't have to be any great span of time. This can be a couple of hours in the evening after work to just simply detach from everything that's your responsibility, right? Make it so that you have only fun for at least a couple of hours, for an evening. Choose an evening. Or so in Canada, tomorrow is Canada Day. And so many people, not everyone obviously, but many people have the day off from work, and it is really a day of play. And so go play somewhere or stay home and play or whatever it takes, right? But remove the responsibility of thoughts from your mind. Take a break from news. Don't let anybody, just tell everybody, I'm not taking any responsibilities today. So if there's a problem, it'll have to wait till tomorrow. Obviously, we're going to be, if one of the kids needs extra something, well, obviously you're going to do it. But you get what I mean, right? And so in that way, you're going to free your mind, free your body, have fun, have some relaxation, some rest, have some really good food and lots of water, and enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Now, if you are fortunate enough to be able to go on an extended time, then that's even better, right? Be in nature, hang out with the kids, eat the good food, trust that what you're receiving is truth and authenticity. Beautiful. Okay, so let's take one more card here from the Daily Guidance deck. And let's see what last thing. There we go. Innocence. Innocence. So there's, yeah. So this is more about, like, when we were talking about being out in nature and being allowing the feelings to come out and all that kind of stuff. That is, it's like returning yourself to innocence. It's like if you could become a virgin again, you'd do that, right? To remove the scars and the trauma and return you to a time of innocence. And yes, it's possible. So you do that by expressing all those feelings and getting them out. That way they are no longer in you, right? Beautiful. Really beautiful. Okay. Okay, so can you hang around for another minute, Aries? And we'll just send a bunch of that innocence to the whole world. Oh, the world needs it. Today the world is suffering a little bit. So let's just send them blessings. Thank you so much, Aries. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'll see you next week.